Hey, what's up, everybody? It's the liberal loudmouth, and as always, I am here with
The real Ron Ron's always going to be where the liberal loudmouth is to
yeah,
tell you the truth.
yeah. What's up? All right,
Well,
so we may have a special guest coming today, right, Ron?
I think so. I love everybody, and
Yeah.
I've invited a gentleman. Hush up! I don't know why that's being so loud, but I've invited a gentleman that I've had many conversations with and many debates with, and he's a Democrat and liberal. But I invited him on the show, and he's got an event to go to at 4:30. But he might pop in here in just a second. But we'll see what happens with that. If he does, I'll make sure to do the right introduction. You just let me know. Um,
Yeah, I'll be watching for him in the lobby here. And a
I
little later we'll probably get some more people on here if we can.
Yeah, I would love
Um,
to see somebody come on here and talk about the Jason Aldeans and in fact, Tim, I think Ryan Walters just came out in support of Jason Aldean on his superintendent page.
which blows my mind. Like, regardless of how you feel about the Jason Aldean debacle, what the hell is the superintendent of public schools for Oklahoma doing, talking about that at all? Jeez,
You
that's he just wants people to click on his stuff, I guess. Do you think?
That's it. That's the same reason Jason Aldean wrote that crappy song, and it's a good song. I listen to it quite a bit. It's not a bad song. It's not a great song.
Right?
But
It's not a great song.
he went down there in front of the courthouse and sang the song and pissed off liberals, and now everybody's banning him and canceling him, and his record sales are through the roof.
You know,
It's a marketing tool.
yeah, and if you didn't know, I did a video earlier. I think you've seen it, but if you haven't seen it, you can go to the Liberal Loudmouth on YouTube and watch my video, because I think he did it on purpose to specifically piss liberals off. I really, this guy has a lot of money. I don't think he's racist, but you use the side of a lynching back in the day. He probably knew exactly what he was doing. But I just don't see how that is important to the superintendent of Oklahoma. Does that make sense to you, other than him just trying to ride the coattails of that?
No, he's just trying to get them clicks, and you know that Ryan Walters has always been my guy. I've had him. I hate to keep saying this, but I've had the man at my house. I've had him in my backyard. I actually I want him there. I wanted to improve public education, but this dude is not doing what I hired him to do.
He really isn't. He's doing actually quite the opposite. And I want to say, and this came up just recently. Let me go ahead and put this on the screen. We hadn't actually anticipated talking about this, but I saw it right before we went on. Apparently, let me scroll in here so everybody can see it. Gentner Drummond's office, there was a bomb threat, and they had to evacuate it, and grand jurors were told to come back tomorrow, which is crazy. And in fact, this was shared by Andy Fugate, who is the special guest that may or may not be able to come on. He's on a tight schedule, busy man.
Yeah, we'll get him on here. He's agreed to come on whenever we can, but this was kind of like last minute improv.
Very last minute. Very, very last minute. So that's going on here today. And you know about Gentner Drummond, right? What's going on with Gentner Drummond?
Yeah, he is fixing to take to task not the oil company, not the gas company, not the utility companies, but he's going to take to task the middleman, the marketers that turn around and buy and sell simultaneously the gas and oil and stuff. And then also, sometime this fall, I believe he's going to go after Governor Stitt and Ryan Walters for this class wallet bullshit.
Yeah. Oh, here we got Huntsberger. I hope I pronounced that right. I'm in a meeting, or I would join. I'm behind, I guess, on the song I watched you to the other day. I'm for women voting, pro-life for myself. I won't stand in anyone's way if you choose to do whatever. Ex-educator, done with books in our schools. Just wanted to say I appreciate you both. Well, thank you for that. We appreciate the comment.
I've never met Heather, but we've been friends on social media and stuff for for years before I was even doing the thing with the real Ron. I had a huge crush on her because she's smoking hot. If you're married, I apologize. I'm not trying to be offensive. You are really smoking hot though. But I love Heather. I love her conservative views and values and stuff. And super smart lady.
Yeah, that's awesome though. I don't think I've ever seen her comment on the show, so that's good though.
That is
that you know her.
I would love to have we need to get a hold of Monroe Nichols. We've had all these conservative Republicans we've had Ryan Walters on.
Didn't you have Grant Miller on your show?
Yeah, Grant Miller was on. Grant Miller was actually my very first guest years ago. Grant Miller, he's the city councilman over in Tulsa.
Of course, he's a libertarian, not necessarily conservative, right?
Right. He's a libertarian, but he had some great things that I agreed with. I didn't really understand that libertarians are all about capitalism, but that's fine for me anyway. And then we've had people like Chris Manning and Sherry Conley. I've had those people on. Who else have we had on? We've had on several community members.
Wesson.
Kendra Wesson came on.
Kendra Wesson. Yeah.
She was running against Jacob Rosecrans. I wish that dude would come on.
Yeah, I wish Jacob would respond to his constituents. That's what I wish. But, wish in one hand, shit in the other, and let's see which one fills up fastest. You know what I'm saying?
So glad that you know that saying, and I'm not the only one that's saying.
What's interesting is, and for the audience that may not know this, Ron has liberals that will respond to him when those same liberals will just refuse to have any discussion with me at all whatsoever. It's weird.
It's very true though.
It is. It's weird.
Hardcore liberals.
Right. And this is even before you kind of switched your view of how what Ryan Walters was actually wanting to do rather than what he claimed he was going to do.
I feel like they're Jason Aldeaning me. It's like, oh, look, even the real Ron says some bad shit about Ron. I'm not saying anything bad about Ron. I'm just calling balls and strikes. The man up there to increase proficiency scores and hold admins accountable, and instead he's out there talking about Jason Aldean's a hero and he's going to stand behind him the whole way.
Yeah. People are saying he's a hero, and I don't understand that. No, the guy, I'm pretty sure he did it so he could get some, because now he's number one on iTunes. He'll probably be that way for a week.
Yeah, and he's only like 5'8", and not that being short makes you any less of a human being. I'm just saying, Jason, if you're out there, you want some cred, you want some street cred, you need to come on the Loudmouths. That's what I'm saying.
That's one way to do it. That's for sure. Because we hold them all to the fire, don't we, Ron? Whether you're a Democrat or a conservative, we'll go after them all. So that's
Miranda Lambert. You saw that, right?
That's the one with the selfie, right? She got upset because somebody took a selfie.
Yeah, how narcissistic do you have to be you have to stop a rock show or a country show and be like, no, you need to pay attention to what I'm doing,
man? And this happened once before when somebody got pissed off about somebody taking pictures during the concert.
Yeah,
and it's caused a riot. You remember that Guns N' Roses?
Oh yes, I do actually.
Axl Rose, he jumps off the stage and hits this dude, and he got sued and all that because the people started freaking out because he was like this, because he was mad at security, threw his mic down and took off. But now Miranda Lambert didn't do all that. I just thought it was funny. But yeah, that's very weird.
Will you pull up Lane Brown's first comment after Heather's?
Oh man, I love Ryan, but love you guys too. Well, we love you too, Lane.
That is precisely the way people should be.
Yeah,
I love Ryan. I love y'all. We can all come together and figure this shit out, and we don't have to just be constantly pounding each other with hateful rhetoric like the woke and the leftist liberal extremists and the Riley Flax. If you don't believe what I say, then I'm going to take your right to vote away.
Exactly. Yeah. Repeal the 19th. Now, let me. Oh, he didn't actually. I'm going to go to the superintendent's page real quick because this is something that we wanted to talk about as well. Ryan Walters taking credit for something.
Let's talk about this because I'm still researching this, but
it looks like we may have Andy coming in here.
Okay, that would be great.
Oh, there we go.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir. You are on live.
All right.
Well,
go ahead.
We were fixing to talk about Ryan taking credit for this money, this federal money that's coming in. Can you speak to that at all?
Well, yeah, I can. The reality is these are part of a process called formula grants, which all states receive automatically. It's just based off of the numbers of kids that we have living in poverty. And, there's two reasons why we're getting more money than we did last year. That's because, number one, they put more money into this. But number two, we have more kids living in poverty this year than we did last year. So it's not really the kind of thing you want to take a victory lap over. And the question that schools have had is not whether or not this money is coming, it's when and how much. And so many of them still don't know. And in the past, they've known, in the April or May timeframe. And so,
well, let me ask you this.
Discouraging for them while they're trying to make hiring decisions.
Let me ask you this, because the state knows how much money they're going to get, but the individual school districts some of them still do not know. Is that what I'm understanding?
That's correct. Yeah, the state has an allocation formula. They send all this money through, and it depends on the numbers of kids that meet certain criteria. And we just saw word today from OSSAA, that's the governing body for athletics and high school athletics in Oklahoma. They don't have their numbers as well, the ADM, which is the average daily membership numbers. So they're struggling.
School, right? Wow.
It's the same numbers.
So do you know what the bottleneck is there? At what point is that information stopping? Do you know?
I suspect it has something to do with just that they've lost so many people.
Right. So it's a matter of just not having enough personnel in order to. Yeah, I think we're cutting out a little bit. I can see you again now. Connection. Yeah, it looks like that building is.
Tell us where you're at, Andy.
Oh, I think he's making his way out.
Or what do you call Mr. Representative? Can you tell us where you're at?
Oh, we lost audio. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. Let's try it again. That's interesting. Maybe go out and come back in. Can you still hear me, Ron?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
You can hear me? Yeah. Go out and come back in. Okay. He's going to come back in. Well, so that stinks.
We can hear him.
Maybe so. Maybe so. Yeah.
This was very impromptu. I asked the man if he wanted to come on, and he said yes. So yeah, we're going to let anybody come on that wants to come on.
It was literally within minutes of we started the show. I was changing the title because we were verifying. And literally right before we got the title, he said that he could come on, but I don't think he can be.
I know he's got an event that he's doing at 4:30. Obviously, he's there doing it, but to give us a little bit of time, I appreciate him stepping up and doing that. We need to make sure that he tells Jacob to come.
Here we go. Well. Here we go.
Sorry, guys.
There we are. You're back. We can hear you now. Sorry about that. Glad we got you back, though.
Well, same here. I apologize. I think the problem was on my end. So.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Say that I appreciate you coming on. I know you got an event to go to. What event are you at, if I may ask?
So Commissioner Bloomert has a roundtable council that there's several of us who get together periodically. So she has questions about her district, and part of her district overlaps my district, and so she's been courteous enough to keep me involved in that process.
Well, good.
Nice.
I would love to have you back on a more not impromptu, spontaneous thing to talk more in depth about this stuff. And I would also like for maybe if you could tell Jacob Rosekrantz that I love him too, and I would love to talk to him.
Well, I
Make
will
that,
pass that on certainly, and I appreciate very much the opportunity to be here today, and would love to come back on and talk a little bit more. I will say this for your audience. I'm frustrated with Ryan. I know you guys probably are as well. Ron, I know you are for sure. I just want him to do his job. And if he would focus on that, I think we would be in a much better situation. Because we could still argue and fuss about policy, and we ought to. But right now, these attacks that are happening are just chasing everybody away from education, and then that's not good for public education.
well said.
Yeah.
Well said.
Yeah.
I agree.
Completely agree with you
Have
on
a
that.
good evening, sir, and I will be in touch, and we'll get you back on here and tell Jake I love him.
All righty. Thank you.
Thank you for your time, sir.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Enjoy your evening. All right. Awesome. Well,
Thank you, Andy, for that. That was great.
yeah, we'll work out the details for that, and then we'll schedule it. We'll make sure everybody knows it's coming up before, because he understands the process. If you're in there as a representative, you have a way better understanding of, kind of the nuances of all that stuff. So, it's awesome that he allowed us the time to talk to him. That's awesome. I really think it is, especially since you're a conservative, Ron.
I know, right?
Yeah. But now, what were we talking about?
We were talking about Ryan and Jason Aldean.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was trying to I pulled up the tweet here. Let me pull it up. It's here, record levels of state funding to improve our classroom. And then it shows, and of course he had to list all the previous years that shows that his year was more. As you can see here at the top, Ryan Walters, 2.8 million. And as Andy was saying, this is automatic funding. It comes in, just because it's part of the grant programs that the government is giving out and stuff. But it's because of the poverty levels of our kids. We have more poverty levels now than we did, a year ago. And Joe Biden had increased the amount of money that they were giving out. So in a roundabout way, Ryan Walters was actually thanking Joe Biden for that, because it was because of Joe Biden that the amounts were more.
And that's what I wanted to kind of touch on is I've been to events with Ryan Walters where he has said that he wants to get away from taking federal grant money because he doesn't want the federal government to be involved in our curriculum in our schools. And I agreed with that. That's something that I agreed with Ryan Walters. I don't want the federal government dictating what we teach in our schools. But for him to turn around and take credit for accepting or securing federal money that was already procured, I can't say that word, procured.
And
that he didn't want, that he
has said he doesn't want, it just, why are we pushing that? Just take the money and get the proficiency scores up and get the teachers more money. Quit having these bloated admins that ignore parents and these and get us a school board recall bill. That's what I want.
Right. Yeah, but then he turns around and he says shit like this. The woke left will attack and make up any excuse to destroy American values. Talking about Jason Aldean again. This is a guy that's supposed to be leading policy, directions for schools. And he's talking about
another politician in Oklahoma that has came out in support of fucking Jason Aldean.
Can I find out how many?
Have you heard of any?
Other than Ryan, not that I'm aware of.
If somebody out there can Google real quick, if you're watching, Google how many other politicians in Oklahoma have came out publicly in support of Jason Aldean. Please,
right.
God, I'll send you a signed The Real Ron.
Let's see here. Let's think of who might be more likely to do that. Who do you think would be more likely to come out and talk about something that has no meaning?
No meaning?
Well, in terms of Oklahoma politics or the schools. Teachers just got a $6,000 bonus or pay raise, right? Wasn't it 5,500?
I don't know.
Was it? I think it was 50. It was somewhere around that lane. Yes.
Lane
I can
knows more about that than I do, but
yeah, let me see. Oklahoma teachers.
And for y'all that don't know Lane is he's a high school Republican. He's kind of a big deal. He's getting to be almost as big a deal as we are, but he does know his shit. He stays in this and he does do research and stuff.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so matter of fact, I'm just going to do this so people don't think I'm just making this stuff up. Here is this is the State Department of Education's website. Teacher signing bonus, standard signing bonus, 15,000. Where is it? So 1,500 to 5,000, depending on their designation. Receiving okay, so I think that may be different than what they just did. The pay raise would apply to all certified staff working in public schools beginning next year. 3,000 for educators with 0 to 4 years, 4 for 5 to 9, 5 for 10 to 14, and 6,000 for 15 years or more.
There you go.
Yeah. So 3,000 basically for all teachers, and right. 6,000 for 15 or more. God, that's a long time to be teaching.
Right. $6,000. I could blow $6,000 at a casino in one night.
Am I crazy, Ron, or does it seem like teachers should make a minimum of 60,000 a year, like entry level?
Don't get me started on this, because teachers, policemen, firemen, EMTs, those people should be making a minimum of I think $70,000 to $80,000 a year. You're talking about that has a direct effect on your life, your health, your safety, your
future.
Education. Yeah.
They're vital part of any civilized society. And, because in other countries like Norway and Sweden, they treat their teachers like they would their doctors, like we would their doctors.
Right. And these cosmetic doctors, they're putting in boobs and they're doing Botox and they're making $500,000
bank. And what do? I guess they make some people feel good sometimes.
But that's America. That's capitalism, right? That's where you go.
It is, but you gotta prioritize and say, this is worth this, because especially if it's coming from community funds, you can make that determination. But because $60,000, even in Oklahoma, it's not a whole lot of money. It's enough to get by, but it's not a whole lot of money. It's not like you can be rolling in the dough with that.
No, not at all.
Something else.
Go ahead.
I was going to bring up since we're on education, the fact that Mississippi is now year round. They do year round school.
I love that.
So basically what they did was they took 3 weeks off of summer break and they added an extra week for all of the other breaks like Christmas, spring break, and all that stuff. So spring break is 2 weeks off, Christmas break, 2 weeks off, and the other breaks, 2 weeks off. So they just spread it out. So that way you don't lose as much information. Lane Brown is saying boo. I'm not sure what the boo is for.
Lane, let me ask you this, Lane. Do you know why we have summer breaks in our school system?
This is interesting. Yeah. Do you know the answer to that, Lane, since you're in school?
Don't Google it. Just say yes or no. If you know, then cool. Tell me. But
you have 8 seconds, and if it comes after 8 seconds, we're going to have to assume you Googled it.
Yeah, don't chat GPT this shit. Just answer the question.
Speaking of chat GPT, so I can not listen to people yap.
Okay. We'll break it down for you. The reason that we have summers off during our school year is because back in the 1800s, the kids had to be home to harvest the crops.
Boom. And you know what? Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's see what Chat GPT says about it. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Why is there a summer break in the U.S.? Long-standing tradition, agricultural heritage. Historically, many areas in the U.S. were agrarian communities. Weather, health concerns, tradition, teacher training and preparation. This is the main one right here. I don't know why it adds all that other crap, because that's more of a modernized reason. But yeah, the original reason was that for sure.
Allowed children to assist their families in planting and harvesting crops. That's it.
Listen, I got to be home to waste my parents' moolah. You don't have to be home nowadays. They can just put money on a card and there you go.
That shit. I mean,
no, man.
School is what's up. They've been doing it for years in places like China and Japan and Europe. You can get summers off. That's archaic. That's why we're probably, what are we, 27th in the world for math and reading.
God, I haven't looked that statistic up in a while, but yeah, it's definitely not number one. Yeah, because you forget a lot of stuff. You know, the saying is that if you don't use it, you lose it, and that's true for everything. That's you know, muscle memory. You'll lose your muscle memory if you don't.
If there's teachers out there, I know how Lane feels about it, but if there's teachers or parents out there, I'd like to know what they think about it too. Do you think to do year-round school? That would be more money for the teachers, because during the summertime they're working second jobs.
Yeah. Yep. That's actually a great question for a teacher to come on and answer. If we have any, matter of fact, I'll just put the link out there and see if we can't get a teacher on here. You want me to go ahead and open the platform up like we tried to do last time and see how that goes?
Absolutely. Yeah. See what's going on.
Right. Let's see. I'll just post it here. And then I'll go to my Twitter. Let's see. Hey, I'm gonna ask Ryan Walters if he wants to come on. Hey, buddy, come on the show.
His number? I wonder if he's changed his number. I haven't spoken to him
live
since way before. He ain't gonna come on here.
No, this is on Twitter. I posted it on Twitter. That's funny.
We'd have a better Riley Flack coming on here right now.
To comment on our live show, go here. Okay.
I gotta get some better lighting.
Oh yeah. Yes, I need like 2 more lights. I've got these lights here, but they're not enough. I need one right on my face. But you hopefully are about to get a better setup, aren't you?
I am. See, look how much better looking I am with light on my face.
Man, I didn't honestly think you could get better looking than that until you put the light up on your face, and I was like, whoa.
I wake up better looking every day.
Oh man,
I got some good news about my little ankle bracelet and my court case and stuff, but I'm not going to count my chickens before they hatch. But I am fixing to move to Warner.
Oh really?
Yeah, my mother's house, which I own now, and I'm renovating and fixing it up. I'm going to be living down there for a while. My daughter and my niece are going to be going to school down there, so going to have some great things coming up, setting up. It's going to be great. What's Heather say?
I'm an ex-assistant principal. Let me move this up. Back when I was a teacher administrator, we had to have summer breaks to help with electricity bills to cool the building. So much has changed since I was in school. Personally, I had to reteach, revisit. Yeah, that's actually a great point. It
is a good point.
Yeah, I wouldn't have really thought about that. Yeah, it's really like right now. It's
a lot of saying, Heather, but it's a good point.
Yeah, I feel like I fell into hell, and they call it Mississippi. It is so hot out there right now. It's crazy.
Oh, it's crazy hot. What is this? Oh my goodness, Tim. What?
Tim left us. Now you. Oh, he's upset because he'll still be around. Warner's not that far away.
No, I'm still going to be there. I got kids in the Wasso lane. I'm not going to bail on my kids now.
And besides, you basically drive into town every day, don't you?
Yes, I do, to make sure that they go to baseball and wrestling. My youngest, my son, is fixing to start wrestling. So that's exciting. I don't know anything about wrestling, so but he's excited about it too. We've been doing baseball for 8 years, and he wants to try wrestling now. So we'll see how that goes.
Oh, here I got to put this up there. It's not the Chat GPT thing. Let me switch this over. Right here, Ryan Walters, Oklahoma schools to receive record federal funding. Superintendent aims to silence critics with early allocation. But didn't we just hear from a representative that said that the schools haven't been receiving them?
Well, and this is something
or at least they don't know where, how much they're getting.
Our other mutual friend and I have been having conversations about this, and apparently the problem is, yes, the state has received how much allocation they're going to get, but the individual districts still have not received how much they're going to get. It's what Andy and the left and the Democrats and the teachers and all. So there's some type of miscommunication. Either they have or they haven't. And if they haven't, then Ryan Walters' statement is false. And if they have,
right,
then Provenzano's statement is false. So I don't know for sure. I'm just a dad, but people are blaming each other back and forth. So either they have or they haven't. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I'd asked that of Andy, but then that, the issue with the communication started. So I didn't actually get back to that. He might have more insight on that. If we can get him on the show, within the next week or something, maybe he can shed more light on that.
I would love to have him, Monroe Nichols. Who's the old boy in Owasso that?
Oh gosh,
I forgot his name.
Yeah, he was my representative too.
Mark Van Kuren.
Van Kuren. Oh wait, no, he wasn't my representative. He used to be, but they switched. They redistricted.
Burrito would come on here.
That's a good question. You'd ask him. He's probably mad at me, but I mean,
last thing that I heard about me was he was wondering if I could run the Tulsa County GOP from jail. So I don't know if he'll come on or not.
Oh, Dana. And then we got Moms for Liberty was something that we were going to talk about. So what's going on with Moms for Liberty?
They're putting together these summits. They just had this huge one up in Pennsylvania with Trump and DeSantis and all these different people, but they're doing one out in Yukon on the 5th of August, I believe. But look at the lineup they have. Can you pull that up?
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now. Bam.
Okay, here's the lineup that they got going on here. And some of these people I know personally, and some of them I don't. We'll just start off. We'll save the best for last. So we'll start off in the lower right-hand corner. Ryan Walters is going to be there. Everybody knows what's going on with Ryan and me and Tim, and we helped him get elected, and we voted for him, and then he just ghosted us, and he didn't need us anymore. And I still like his policies, most of them, if he would implement them and actually do the work, like Andy said, instead of this woke, leftist, liberal indoctrination bullshit.
Rhetoric crap.
Sherry, I think you and Sherry have had multiple conversations about things. Sherry's been on my show.
I like Sherry. She seems really, really nice. I don't know much about her.
She put forth a school board recall bill that I thought was going to make it, but it didn't come out of committee. So maybe she can continue to do something about that. I love Sherry. She's good people. And Lucia on the bottom left here, she does amazing things for kids with IEPs and special needs and things like that. Love her and her husband. They're doing some phenomenal work with special needs, IEP type stuff. Senator Shane Jett. The only thing, I've met him a couple of times. The only thing I can say about Shane Jett is he reminds me of a Nathan Dahm with a better personality. if that makes sense. He's very religious. A lot of his stuff comes from biblical text and his thinking and stuff, and that's fine if his constituents want to elect him. That's their business. But that's where I'm at on Shane. He's got a wonderful family and all that. I don't know the dude in the middle. I do know the man in the top left corner. I believe her name is Maria Seidler.
Oh God, Maria Seidler.
Yeah, and he's been a very big proponent of pro bono work for parents against public schools, and but he just never wins court cases. I don't understand.
Oh, you talking about Maria?
Oh, I'm sorry. She.
Yeah. Well, she I mean she did some good, but you know, I don't know, her beliefs get in the way of everything, I think. And I
No,
just
no, they. You don't think that? I have seen it happen. And I'm not trying to shit on Maria or Legal Overwatch. They serve a purpose. They help out people that don't have the means to pay attorneys $15,000, and that's
but
fine.
you get what you don't pay for.
You get what you don't. That's beautiful. You get what you don't.
Yeah, and you know, you have to listen to every phone call. I'm doing this for free. It was, oh God, man, don't. I get triggered when I think of that person because it was just, I don't know. It wasn't a good experience for me. I imagine it wasn't a good experience for her because she wants people to do what she wants them to do, and if you don't, you're wrong and you're this and that, whatever. So she's very controlling. If she were to be the president of the United States, I would imagine she would force people to do things.
Here's my thing. She screamed, "I'm doing this for free." And then what happened? We went out and we got her a bunch of money, right?
Yeah, we did.
Quit. Then she quit.
Yeah, she
And
quit.
then she didn't want to give the money back.
Right. And I believe Ryan didn't he reach out to you about her, about wanting to be on the panel or something?
Back before the election, Ryan had called me and he's like, "Hey, have you heard about Maria Simon wanting to be my lead legal counsel for the Oklahoma Department of Education?" I'm like, "Dude, if you touch that, I'm not ever going to speak to you again. That lady is bad news. Stay away from her." He's like, "No, we're not going to do it. She just keeps harping and people keep telling me that I need to pick Maria." And I'm like, "No. Hell to the no.
You know, I wonder what the lead counsel for like the Department of Education, what their like main purpose would be, because her written stuff is phenomenal. The lady can write.
Phenomenal.
She makes great arguments. There's no denying that, but they're just, you know, she has social issues, I think, in the same way that I have some social issues. So I don't know. I
would agree.
Yeah,
with she's like a phenomenal paralegal, I guess.
Probably, you know, the person behind the scenes. So if that's what she was doing, then might not be a bad idea. But I don't know that she can separate necessarily herself and religious stuff. But that's what Ryan wants too. So,
well,
aren't you going to that summit though?
Yeah, I'll be in Yukon on August 5th. Ankle bracelet or not, I don't give a shit.
And wear shorts. Make sure Dana Prieto sees you.
I'm gonna take pictures. If you want a picture with me in an ankle bracelet, Yukon, August 5th.
If you can record that, oh my God, please do. Somebody go record that. I want to see what they say.
He's going too.
What's that?
Lane just popped up, said, "I'm going too."
Oh yeah, he's buying 2 tickets. He said he's buying 2 tickets. I mean, maybe some good information will come out of that, or maybe it'll be like a church service.
The best information to come out of that will probably be from Lucia. Or Lucia.
Oh yeah,
I don't know how to. I think it's Lucia, but
let me see.
That lady is phenomenal.
Yeah, Lucia is probably right, or
Yeah.
maybe Lucia.
Did that say she's the director of Echo?
Yep, she is now.
Well, good.
Frawling, director of parent services. Well, I have a feeling that Echo is basically like a corporate offshoot of the Catholic Conference of Oklahoma, based on what I know of how it came to be. So,
Todd, appreciate you watching. I can
lost audio.
I can hear Tim fine. Can you hear me?
Can anybody else hear us? Because I can hear Ron. Ron can hear me. Hopefully we're not having audio issues. Okay, Lane can hear.
Todd, get the lizards out of your ear.
Them salamanders. So it doesn't even say what it's about, right? It's a parent summit.
summit, and I can't stand that word summit because it makes me, and it's just me. It makes me feel very cultish. But Moms of Liberty put it on Canadian County. Moms for Liberty, they can put on some events and get some people there. They really can.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you've got millionaires backing you, it's not so hard. When Moms for Liberty first started out, they were on the Rush Limbaugh show in the first month that they incorporated as a nonprofit.
Right.
I mean, that.
How many times you been on Rush Limbaugh or any
grassroots
syndicated? Yeah, grassroots, right. My ass, whatever.
Yeah, AstroTurf. What else you got, man?
Man, I ain't got nothing else. I'm good. I'm appreciative of Andy coming on and spending a few minutes with us and making
absolutely
priority. And that's what it's going to take, is everybody talking about this and coming to some type of civil debate and not just blocking trolls.
And Andy made it clear that, you know, even if they have differences, he's willing to work with Ryan because it is what it is for everybody. And if Ryan could actually sit down and just cut out all the nonsense and focus on figuring out what kind of thing they want to work towards to get education better in Oklahoma, everybody else will listen, and
right.
they'll be relieved.
We're all Oklahomans.
Yeah, and that's the way it should be.
Yeah. So
yeah, and I may live in Mississippi, but I will be back in Oklahoma probably in about 5 years.
You're an Oklahoman.
I'll always be in Oklahoma. I was born and raised. So on the playground, I spent most of my days. You remember that, right? When I said that, that's what came to my head. I'm weird like that.
What else you got? You got anything else going on?
Not really. The Jason Aldean stuff is it feels performative to me. What do you think? Where people are just kind of, you know,
if you can listen to the Jason Aldean, and I've had this argument today. I was like, I want to debate, and this lady was like, I'm not debating shit. She didn't say shit, but I'm not debating shit. This is just done. This is horrible. And I'm like, do you not listen to hip hop or rap?
Yeah.
Do you not NWA? In came the bitch with the submachine Uzi.
Oh yeah, no, there's some pretty nasty stuff. That is a link to the video that I did about Jason Aldean earlier this morning.
Great video,
and I'm also going to share the link of the Jason Aldean video. That way y'all can see it for yourself. Don't take our word for it. Go and check it out yourself and see
he is
how you feel.
Pandering to the right by bringing up these leftists and images, and they're true images. I enjoyed it. As a Republican conservative, I'm like, yes, that's exactly what we would do if you came into a small town and try to burn us down or loot or shit or whatever. We would take care of business.
I think where people drew a line was that he did the video in front of this courthouse where I guess a lynching had taken place. But I'm like, look, a courthouse in the South that's been around for a couple hundred years.
Name one.
Right. I'm sure all of them have some kind of a history of lynching, as sad as that is. That's just part of history. But again, he could have chosen a police station or something like that instead of that courthouse. And I'm sure that's why he did it, to get people riled up, because he knew that Twitter would expose that location. But
listen, I've listened to Jason Aldean talk. I've listened to his music for years. He's a hunter. He goes out in the woods and hunts deer and duck and shit. I know that we have to blame Jason Aldean because it's his song and his music, but he has so many people working for him, and these people know what sells, and that's what happened.
This picture, I got to put this up here. Hold on, let me pull it up here. Look at this picture. Oh no, that's not it. Share this tab. There we go. This is acceptable for a big city, fiery but mostly peaceful, racist and extremely violent.
That's true.
Oh yeah. Here, let me
Aldean is racist.
There we go. That's funny.
I don't think Jason Aldean is racist at all.
No, that guy doesn't think about it enough. He probably goes to bed and rolls around in dollar bill, y'all.
He's worried about shooting deer and turkey.
Right. But you know, hey, Ryan Walters jumped on that bandwagon too pretty quick, didn't he?
Quick.
That's so weird. Anyway, I guess that's it for today. I don't have anything else. Nobody else has shown up here. At some point, we're going to get somebody with enough testicular fortitude to come on the show as a stranger and you know, tell us what they think.
I think Heather may come on next time because Heather does have this testicular fortitude, but she was in a meeting today.
Well, you know, we look forward to everybody coming on the show.
So, Heather, I still have a little bit of a crush on you.
All right. Well, now that that's out of the way, I guess we'll see you guys next time. We're going to try to start doing more of these. So, you know, just be on the lookout for it. Make sure you hit the bell icon on YouTube or on Facebook to get the notifications when we do go live.
Yes, sir.
All right. We will catch everybody later.
See y'all later.